Welcome back to the channel, y'all. I'm Scotty G, back at it again. When I started this channel almost a year ago, I told myself I would never talk about current events, politics, anything like that that isn't evergreen, but I need to make an exception with this particular episode. I think everyone by now has heard about the CEO that was murdered in New York City. His name was Brian Thompson. I went to high school with Brian. He graduated 3 years ahead of me in high school in a small little farm town in Iowa, very close-knit community. It's one thing to see these awful news stories, this awful stuff on social media, but when you see something like this from someone that you practically know their entire family, their family knows you, it's a weird thing. People were celebrating Brian's murder, and it was shocking, to say the least. It's just very weird when it's someone you know. And on top of that, someone that was a good person, and you know they're a good person. So this tragedy rocked me big time. Obviously, my entire community is really tore up about this, and I've written thousands of articles online, self-help stuff for self-help groups. I've done a lot of stuff on my personal feed, trying to be funny and trying to inspire people to do better. Obviously, sharing things about my family and just trying to make people laugh in general. Well, I put this article out and I published it publicly, and it went viral. I was mentioning how I knew Brian. He was a good guy, Mr. Popular, homecoming king, valedictorian, super smart guy, really good trombone player, and just fun to be around. And he was in the popular crowd. I wasn't. I was a bit more of a screw up in high school, and I was in the troublemaker crowd. But he was always nice to me. He's always good to me. Didn't have to be, but he went out of his way sometimes to make me feel comfortable and just be a good guy. That's how small town Iowa is. Okay, everybody knows each other, for better, for worse, and in this particular case, it was for the better. He grew up on a farm. His folks are farmers. Didn't have a whole lot, just like everybody else. Very humble upbringing. I didn't grow up with a whole lot either, and everybody pretty much all had that in common. There were some people that were a little more well off than others, but we all grew up together, really. Latchkey kids are like that. Gen X was like that, where we basically just all grew up together, riding bikes and going fishing and just having fun, right? That's the way Brian was. Well, that article went viral. I was talking about his background, just briefly, just talking about healthcare. I'm a healthcare provider. I own my own practice, so I know a thing or two about the insurance industry, and I'm not a big fan either, okay? But it is what it is, okay? As an optimist, I'm also a realist. You have to understand that the system is in place, and I have to use that system to take care of people best I can. And I know it's flawed. All providers know it's flawed. Most patients know it's flawed. It's just what we have, okay? I don't want to get into healthcare in this particular episode because I could write a book about it. I mean, I've spent 25 years dealing with the healthcare industry, and there's a lot of problems. But if we go to a purely private pay healthcare system, we've done that. That existed at the turn of the century in 1900. Well, doctors moonlighted as real estate agents. Do you know why? Is because if patients couldn't pay their bills, they'd take your house. Okay, we don't need to go back to that system. And if it's a purely government system, who's going to write it? Who's going to do it? Our political system is full of snakes and people that are just scum, in my opinion. Okay, do I want them dead? No. Do I want them to change their act? Yeah, for sure. Most people do. And I wrote about that. It went viral. I've got kids that are teenagers, and they talk about going viral as a good thing. My experience with this is my first real taste of going viral with anything. I don't care to ever do it again. What I've seen the past couple weeks after writing this article has been downright scary. The article I wrote was basically meant as a tribute to people that didn't know Brian, to the people, to Brian's family, to people that I know, and people were putting laugh emojis on it, commenting left and right about how he deserved it, and just pure evil, in my opinion. It is awful. It's disgusting. I would have said that regardless had I known the guy or not known the guy. Okay, we don't. That's not what we do as Americans. Okay, if you disagree with somebody, we'll have a little chat. Okay, we don't walk up to them without saying anything and shoot them in the back. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, let's not celebrate that. The memes and all the stuff that we've seen, it's downright upsetting, especially for my community, the people that I grew up with. Not to mention his mother. His mother has been through a lot. She lost her husband a year ago, so she buried her husband and her son in the matter of a year. Now, if I mentioned anything like that in the comment section of my article, I would get attacked, saying that he's murdered thousands of people. Why should he be any different? And that's just awful. That is just awful. An awful way to think. I don't understand that way of thinking at all. Okay, we can have a little discussion. Let's change it. Hopefully, that's part of the legacy of Brian at this point, where we can have that conversation. But it needs to calm down before that happens, because of the stuff that I've seen. I've had direct messages basically calling me heartless, greedy, soulless, evil, a 1940s German resident. Just anything that you can think of has been thrown my way. And I knew the guy. He was a humble guy, very, very humble upbringings. He wasn't married to a supermodel. He wasn't from New York City. He grew up in central Iowa in this little farm town. His wife is from the county seat where I grew up, which is where my father grew up. My mother went to high school with his parents. It's a tight-knit community. Very, very few people in that area have any means. They're all farmers, very humble people, and they're all hurting. Seeing these kind of things. I saw a road sign from Seattle, apparently, saying that one CEO down, many more to go. What good does that do? I don't understand that kind of hate, and it's frightening. It's scary to people that are reasonable. But I wanted to talk about this kind of thing, so that you can hear it from somebody that actually knew him. I hope the family's okay with me putting this out. If they're not, I'll take it down. It is all good. But I just want people to know that he was a good guy. Okay. One of the comments that I saw constantly was, nobody should be killed, but, in the comment section, and then they would say this rant about the insurance industry. Like, y'all, stop at the but. Okay, stop at the but. Okay. There's no reason to go on a tirade like that. Okay. Nobody should be killed for what they do for a living. Okay. He climbed the ladder. It took him 25 years. Folks, I get that. I grew up with nothing. Dad's a plumber. Mom's a bookkeeper. They worked their butts off when I was a kid, had nothing. And went through school, 20 years of school, took on a ton of debt going through school, and eventually I made it. I've got my own practice, own multiple businesses now. What I've noticed about people is they'll cheer for you on the way up. Okay, they'll cheer for the downtrodden, which was me. Which was Brian. Okay, they'll cheer for the downtrodden when they're younger. As you go through it, they're still cheering for you. And when you reach the top, when you reach the pinnacle, the summit, they want to tear you down. That's something I've dealt with in my professional career. I'm okay with it at this point because I like where I'm at. I'm good with myself. I did it the right way. And for what I'm seeing from Brian, he did it the right way too. Okay. So a couple things that I want to really talk about with this one. Social media is the crux of this all. I used to think it was the news. I don't think so anymore. I think what's really turned people against each other is it's really social media. Jealousy is the base emotion when it comes to this kind of thing. When you try to vilify somebody that's successful and you're not exactly successful, you think that they were giving all these opportunities that you weren't. Most of the time, that's not true. Sometimes it is. But most of the time, the people that I know that are successful are self-made. Okay, make the best of what you have. Don't tear somebody else down for something for being successful. You have that opportunity too. No matter what you think, no matter what your background is, you can do it too. For somebody like me that's a traditional person, that's a conservative person, that's got a lot of grit and have the same background as Brian, if I see something I don't like, if I go to a restaurant that I don't like their food, or I see something that's online that I don't agree with, I turn the channel. Okay, I don't go back to the restaurant. I don't try to walk in there and try to throw a hand grenade in there and take a dump on somebody's plate. Okay, that's essentially what I see all the time when it comes to social media. I mean, my YouTube channel here. Try talking positively about marriage nowadays and see the kind of reactions you're going to get from people, especially guys. Just take a look at my videos. The comment section's just littered with guys that are just miserable and they're bitter. I'm here to help you. I would love to help somebody out that's like that, but you've got to want that help. Okay? I can't do it for you. Okay? I'm just trying to give you a guide and of a direction so that you can do it for yourself. Instead of putting out a really nasty comment on somebody's page that's trying to help you, or somebody that's trying to humanize Brian Thompson like I did, take the energy that you have to write a book on the feed of that particular post and use it for good. Now, I realize that some people actually think that they're doing good by posting something like, let's change the healthcare system, that kind of thing. But telling his family members that saw my post that he deserved to be killed, that's not exactly constructive use of your time. Most people that comment on my stuff typically won't make it this far into a video. What they'll do is they'll see the thumbnail and just go straight to the comment section and just type something awful and move on. That's typically what I see, which is fine. That's your right. I'm putting myself out there in the public. That's on me. But I'm just trying to help. Okay. There's a lot of really good people out there. Another point that I wanted to make in this video is the fact that 10% of people are like this, whether they're awful. Okay. Maybe they weren't really treated very well when they were younger. They sure didn't have the background that I had. Family were great. We didn't have a whole lot, but we had a lot of love, really, really strong, supportive community. That's why Brian became a CEO. I became a doc. I had classmates that are docs. I mean, these are class sizes of like 40 people, y'all, and there's a lot of successful people that came out of that area, and it's not by accident. But I don't want this to be a rant, okay? Don't think that I'm ranting here. I'm just trying to help people based on my experience with this viral article that just put it in my face what the problems are with people, and really the base underlying problem that we have right now with society is social media. Your feed gives you more and more stuff that you want to see, okay, to keep you on the app. Well, some people out there, the 10% of the people that are just nasty, they'll just consume this material over and over and over and over, and then all of a sudden confirmation bias comes in, and you think everybody thinks like that, and it just solidifies your beliefs. That's why going through your life, it's always a good thing to walk into a room with somebody that you disagree with. You can talk to them, and you can debate without getting angry and try to understand their perspective. That's healthy. What we have now with social media is you can sit in your room in your underwear and basically swipe. All these stories about nasty stuff, how CEOs are destroying people's lives, how they're killing people, all of that stuff. And here we are. It's just all about dopamine. Okay, you get those hits of dopamine and you crave those hits of dopamine, and you continue looking at this stuff, and eventually it gets to the point where it makes you very bitter, and you think everybody is out to get you, And if you hear somebody actually disagree with you, you get angry and it really upsets you. I've seen that firsthand multiple times now since this article's gone viral. And, if you think that maybe I should take it down, that would help this situation, it would make me feel as bad, well, you'd be right. But I wanted that story to get out. Okay, I wanted that perspective to get out about Brian, and I wanted to humanize him, because that's the problem. When you hear the CEO thing, okay, you see the headline, CEO United Healthcare, recently under investigation, recently separated from his wife. What the hell is that? Why do we need to know those little snippets? It's almost like little pokes to make you, it spins the narrative, okay? How about Brian Thompson from Jewel, Iowa, valedictorian of the University of Iowa, valedictorian of his high school, and CEO of United Healthcare, was murdered today on the streets of New York City. How about that headline? Do you see what I'm talking about? It's all spin, and it's dangerous. As you can see now, it's dangerous and it's a little scary. Take it or leave it. Okay, it's all about dopamine. It's all about keeping people on these apps to swipe and sell stuff, and it's dangerous now. If you made it to the end of this, thank you. My main message with this video: focus more on real people in your life. Take a break from social media. Get offline, okay? Take a walk around the block. If you see your neighbor, wave, say hello, walk up to them, say, hey, I'm such and such. I noticed you, and if you need anything, I'm right up the road. I'm here for you, okay? You never know what kind of people, or you would never know if they really needed that at that moment, okay? That's a really good way to meet people. If you have trouble with that, if you live in a rough neighborhood, I get how that could be a problem. But just get out there in real life and talk to people and get around people that disagree with you, okay? Stop walking on eggshells with that kind of stuff. We can have a conversation. That's how I live my life, okay? I'm in a crowded room with 25 strangers a day, and I love it. That's part of my job that I really enjoy, is talking to people. I'm not heartless. I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to rob people, like I was told in my in the comments section. This is what I do. I try to help people as best I can, and if I get paid for those services, then so be it. Okay, my skills are rare. Brian's skills were rare. Okay, and he should be paid for that, not vilified. So if you disagree, so be it. Okay. If you want to go down into the comments to just try to make me feel terrible, or try to make other people feel terrible, ask yourself why you are thinking that, and stop yourself. If you do it, if you want to do that, and you think I'm full of crap, move on. Swipe down. Okay? It's no skin off my nose. Okay? But I am here to help you. Brian's lasting legacy to me is how social media has changed us. It's dehumanized a lot of things in our life, and we need to get that back. We need to have some sympathy for our fellow human beings, whether or not you agree with them or not. So be it. Okay, accept it, move on, and try to be a better human being. Okay, try to do something nice for someone else. Okay, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. Okay, so there you have it. I appreciate everybody listening to this, and I love you all. So until next time, be better than you were yesterday, and be desirable.